Hey guys, welcome to Cryptocurrency Blockchain News, your source for cryptocurrency and blockchain aggregated news of the day. My name is Shamari Clark. Welcome. Today's top three stories: we have Circles to become a registered bank. Good and story number two: good and bad news for Ripple holders. Banks are going to adopt the XRP, but there is a lawsuit out there against Ripple, and we're going to get into that. And for Neo and Ontology holders, Neo and Ontology are teaming up to create a virtual machine and standardized smart contracts. So we're going to get into a little bit of that as well. Let's see how the markets are doing today. We've got the usual, I always say it, the usual suspects: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, Bitcoin Cash, EOS Litecoin, Cardano, Stellar, IOTA, and Tron, rounding out our top 10. The markets have been pretty slow today. Points, zero point 0.5 here, 0.7, 0.07 there, 1.37. So kind of a slow day on the markets. A little bit of red, a little bit of green. Binance coin up 10% today. That was big news. Ontology up today. We're going to read about that. That's with the Neo, getting together with Neo for this VM that we're talking about. Excuse me. Well, so yeah, pretty mixed day. Okay. Let's get to the news. Crypto unicorn Circle aims to expand into regulated banking. This is good news. Circle Internet Financial Limited, one of the world's most valuable cryptocurrency platforms, is looking to make a big leap into the highly regulated realm of U.S. banks and brokerages. The venture, partly backed by Goldman Sachs, nice institutional investor, big money, Inc. plans to seek federal banking license to provide more services to customers. It also intends to pursue registration as a brokerage and trading venue with the Securities and Exchange Commission, so it can help investors buy and sell tokens deemed to be securities. That's the big issue right now. What are these, right? That's what the regulators are trying to figure out. Should they classify cryptocurrency as securities, like a stock, or should they classify them as a commodity, like gold and silver? And so, from what I've heard so far, they're looking at like Bitcoin, Litecoin, and a few others to be commodities. So to be looked at as gold, whereas a lot of these tokens, they want to regulate them as securities. Everyone's freaking out about that. That's nothing to freak out about. Who cares how they classify it? As long as we get to buy and sell this stuff, what does it matter, right? And use it. While getting a banking license would subject it to tough scrutiny, the move would winnow the field of regulators Circle must appease, because federal law would preempt all these different state rules covering crypto. A key part of Circle's pitch is that it would use its expertise to help develop standards for one of the biggest challenges facing traditional financial firms interested in handling cryptocurrencies, and that is how to act as a custodian of those assets. That's the big deal. Like, how do they keep that stuff for you? Like, it's not like us. We just have, it's our own crypto, and we just keep it on, My Ether wallets or Ledger Nanos and different stuff like that. When they're handling institutional investors, they're going to have to, handle, so like a hedge fund's worth of crypto and hold it for them. You know what I mean? A hedge fund's not going to have, 75 million Ripple on a little Ledger Nano, right? And so they have to have professional asset holders, and they need to be regulated. So, and once that happens, everyone will be way more comfortable to come into this space in terms of institutional investors. And again, when they come, driving up the price. So on Wall Street, firms like State Street Corp provide custody services, such as holding securities for investment advisors. Banks and brokerages in that realm must be so-called qualified custodians under SEC rules. but the industry has so far struggled to adopt an acceptable way to hold cryptocurrencies, especially in a world where hackers have proven adept at cracking security and siphoning off large hordes. So, good news. As you can see, Goldman Sachs is in on this. Circle is looking to become a regulated bank. That shows the seriousness of the institutional players, the seriousness with which they're taking cryptocurrency. And so just good news all around for us as cryptocurrency investors. All right, guys, let's get on good news and bad news. If you're a Ripple holder, you're going to like some of this and not so much the rest. All right. So many of us have been questioning how the future will look for the third best cryptocurrency of the market by performance, Ripple. So they asked Garlinghouse. Garlinghouse is the CEO of Ripple. They asked him what does he think. It was held by NBC. Garlinghouse established by the end of the year, the company expects major banks to adopt and start making use of their product XRapid, a liquidity solution that integrates the XRP token. The same way, by the end of 2019, he counts with at least a dozen banks using the token ecosystem and liquidity. That's the big thing, XRapid. Ripple has two things, XRapid and their other X something. Anyways, XRapid is the one we want them to use because that's what uses the XRP token. The other Ripple money transfer system doesn't use the token. It's just its own system. So in terms of whether our tokens will go up in price or anything, only if they use the XRapid portion of Ripple's suite of money transfer solutions. When asked about his opinions of the immense offer of cryptocurrencies out there in the market, he expressed that there's an incredible amount of tokens designed for no reason currently. He continued by saying that every day it can be seen that there's just more and more ICOs and that they don't solve any existing problems, which is why he considers that within 10 years, only about 1% of the cryptocurrencies out today will still be around, which is normal. I mean, it's a brand new industry, just like the dot-com bubble. Everyone was dot-comming up, and then, we're left with the winners of that whole revolution. Now, here's the part, not so nice, the lawsuit against Ripple. A lawsuit was recently filed by an XRP user claiming Ripple was violating some of the laws established by the Securities and Exchange Commission. The plaintiff, who is identified as Ryan Coffey, lost an amount of XRP tokens on January 6, 2018, a fact that led him to establish a lawsuit arguing Ripple had primarily deployed a never-ending ICO. Regarding this, Garlinghouse established that Ripple is not a security, and he specified that the fact was not going to be questioned or changed by one lawsuit. He continued by saying owning XRP doesn't give you any ownership in Ripple equity, and that's something all of the users should be aware of. Exactly. XRP is not Ripple, the company. Those XRPs you buy, that's really the name of it, XRP. We call them Ripples just because they were put out by a company named Ripple, but really they're not called Ripples. The real name is just XRP. And so people have to understand, when you own XRPs, you don't own any Ripples. Like, Ripple, the company, has shares and shareholders, but they're real shares and shareholders. I mean, stocks. That's not XRP. Okay, so people have to understand that. So whenever you hear a lot, oh, Ripple just signed up a new bank. Okay, fine. You have to, it's called XCurrent. Are they using Ripple's XCurrent system or Ripple's XRapid system? If they're using XRapid, that's using XRP for liquidity. That's good for us. That makes the tokens go up. If they're using the other X, I just had it in my head. I just said, I can't believe I forgot. But that other one, that's a different thing. That's not tokenized. That's a different money transfer system that they have. So that's what they have to use, XRapid, and then our stuff goes up. And so that's what he said. So that's what the good news before was that he's expecting banks to use XRapid. I know MoneyGram is testing XRapid. That other one, Western Union, is testing XRapid. There's already a money transfer company in Mexico that's implementing XRapid already. So as time goes by and these companies get signed up more and more, they'll have to buy more Ripples for their liquidity, and that's going to naturally cause the price to rise. So to conclude, when he was asked if potential regulations were a concern for him, he said, nah. He said one of the reasons Ripple has enjoyed such momentum is we have been working with regulators. It's always good. Keep the cops on your side. So that's the news of Ripple for the day. Now, NEO holders. NEO Foundation and Ontology collaborate to give NEO VM and NEO contract. I'm just going to read a little bit of this article. It's a bit technical, and to tell you the truth, I don't understand all that's in it, but it was big news today, and since this is a cryptocurrency and blockchain news channel, it shall be read. So, in May, NEO Foundation and Ontology Foundation signed an MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, agreeing to co-fund a joint task force, its purpose being API standardization and shared ecosystem of smart contract. The force would be in action for 6 months, with 4 million RMB contributed by both parties over this time. It was reported that both NEO and Ontology would fully support the adoption and development of NEO VM, virtual machine, and NEO Contract in a bid to develop smart contract open standards. NEO Contract is a smart contract system built on NEO blockchain that allows transaction validation, token sales, and decentralized app development. It consists of NEO VM, NEO Contract APIs, and SDK, software development kits. NEO VM is decentralized stack-based VM designed for NEO, where smart contracts are executed. Owing to loose coupling, the VM is not constricted to blockchain applications alone. The emphasis on open standards is because it will facilitate interoperability and data exchange among different products or services. This would make adoption by the masses much simpler. So they're going to have a virtual machine, and they're going to be writing smart contracts. The article goes on for longer. I'll put a link to it in the descriptions. You can see this is the execution engine, blah, blah, blah. They get into the stack, the operabilities, the contract APIs. I'm an investor. I'm not really a techie guy, so if you're a techie guy, you can go ahead and read that. I'm interested in the money factor, and so that sounds like good news for them, and sounds like maybe a good investment opportunity. So let's finish up. Blah, 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 blah. All right. There's our top 10 again. All right, then. Well, thanks for coming out, guys. I hope you enjoyed the show. It's been a pleasure doing this for you. Please subscribe. Check us out on Facebook and Twitter. And we will see you tomorrow. Same time, same channel. With a bunch more news. So this is it for today. This is Shamari. Thanks for coming out. Ciao.